This is PRI. You have found Prep Recruiting Insider coming to you from Moe's Pizza on the West Bank, 1112 Avenue H in Westwego, where Italians do it better. I'm your head coach for PRI, Rick GAILLE, along with your Prep Recruiting Insider, Renee Nato. And today we are joined by two great Newman Greenie athletes. To your right is going to be quarterback Myles Lapeyre, and to your left, linebacker Porche. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here with us on Prep Recruiting Insider.
Thank you for having us.
Congratulations, both of you guys, for outstanding careers at Newman. I'm going to start with you, Myles. You're going through the recruiting process right now.
Yes, sir.
What are some of the schools that you are considering right now, and what are you looking for in a school? What's going to be the telltale sign that this is where I need to be?
Well, really what I'm looking for is a school where I can say, you know, if football ended tomorrow, I still want to graduate here, get a degree here. So that's the biggest thing right now for me. Early this year, it was coming down to a lot of Ivy League schools. There's a lot of walk-on positions, but you know, it's interesting. It's a really exciting process to have people reach out to you. Not exactly sure what I want to do yet, but it's definitely been a fun ride.
Hey, give me a couple of schools that maybe you're considering right now.
The schools I've been checking out, there's Columbia University, Princeton. There's some walk-on spots at Duke University, Tulane. So I'm keeping all my options open. I'm just going to feel it out to the end.
Okay, Kobe, and the same thing with you. What are you looking for in a school, and who are some of the schools that you're kind of keeping an eye on, and this might be an option for me?
Well, I'm just trying to make sure I get a good education, and then secondly, I just want to play football, make sure I have time on the field, and make sure it'll be a good fit for me. And right now, I'm only being contacted by some small schools, some small D1 schools. Southeastern has contacted me, went up to a game, ULL. We went up to Memphis Junior Day last year. That was nice, and then that's pretty much it.
Okay.
And Kobe, you've really been versatile in your career at Newman. I think your sophomore and junior year played on the outside as an outside linebacker, had a change in defensive structure, and you came inside. Talk about that transition of going from an outside linebacker to an inside linebacker.
Well, it was much harder because, like, inside linebacker, you have, like, many more assignments and, like, a lot more stuff to look at, opposed to, like, outside where it's just, you're just basically an athlete and just kind of just playing, but, like, inside you have to read your guards, follow the pullers, and you just got to fill, like, a lot of holes. But it was a good transition. I liked it. It got a lot more action, though, so that was good.
The game looks completely different. It doesn't look like much of a difference, only about 5 yards away from where you were. But it looks completely different when you're on the inside, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's like a different game.
Totally different.
And Myles, you got thrown into the fire 2 years ago as a sophomore. I'm sure you were prepared to play, and all along you think, hey, things are pretty good. Then all of a sudden, you're in. And you're in. I think it was right about the middle of the season. Talk about how you had to really be prepared for that getting tossed upon you, and then your development over the last 2 years.
Yeah, my sophomore season was when I got thrown into the mix when the senior quarterback, Jay Tyler, got injured. And, I mean, that was the most fun I've ever had, just getting thrown into the fire and having to jump in and play with those guys. It was really quick, but I think part of the reason I was able to find success was you just go in each day and practice really hard, try and get as many reps with the ones as you can, and if you get thrown in, your number gets called out, you just got to be ready to play. And I think that sophomore season took care of all the nerves. You know, you get in, you play, you feel confident, you see that you can play at this level, you can really succeed. And so junior year was a lot more confident, and that confidence just built, and I was able to work on my craft for senior season.
Hey, Myles, that position at Newman is unlike a lot of other schools. I mean, there's so much quarterback tradition at that school. You threw during your career for over 6,700 yards, 80 touchdowns. You had 2 or 3 games this season where you threw for 5 touchdowns, and you were out of the game by the fourth quarter. How much pressure was it on you, and how did you welcome the challenge of being a quarterback at Newman? Because there, again, you're thinking of Mannings and everything else.
Yeah, it's not so much pressure that I felt. It was more motivation, if anything. You know, there's a ton of great names that have gone through Newman and played quarterback in Newman, and they don't just stop after Peyton and Eli Manning. You got a lot of guys that that went through and were really tremendous players. So it's not pressure to play at their level or to play to anybody's expectations, but it's definitely motivation. It's cool to think about the guys that have played on this field and put my name among those guys.
Kobe, you smell out the screens. You got great closing speed. You had good angles to the ball. Had 119 tackles this year. You were very active, but you also run track. How has that helped you as being a good football player?
Well, running track, it's helped me get faster, and it also keeps me active. So I'm working out, not just sitting down during the off season, and yeah, it's pretty much just helped me get faster. That's it, acceleration, stuff like that.
Good, keeping good shape as well.
Yeah.
In our last minute, Kobe, was there any player or team that you looked up to growing up, either as an example of work ethic or style of play? Is there anybody that you looked up to as a younger player?
I really like watching Tyrann Mathieu play when he was at LSU, because he just went out there and just played, didn't really care, made plays, and I just like the style that he played with, and he worked hard, came from New Orleans.
Right, just turn it loose and
Yeah.
play fast. Same thing with you, Myles. Did you have a favorite team or a favorite player that you maybe patterned yourself after?
Not so much a favorite team, but I had a teammate and a best friend in middle school, Jay Tyler, who I looked up to all of my middle school days, watched him excel as a player and as a person. He's taught me so much on and off the field, so that's really who I've not just tried to style my game after, but also just the type of guy I want to be.
That's right. You're not the next Jay Tyler, you're the first Myles Lapeyre. There
Right.
we go. That's two terrific young men from the Newman School, quarterback Myles Lapeyre and linebacker Kobe Porche. We thank them for being here on PRI. We're here at Moe's Pizza on the West Bank, where Italians do it better. We'll be back after this timeout.